Welcome back to our podcast. Once again, we're welcomed by Lucas Saad and Brandon Thomas. Today we have a very special guest to us. For us, we have Sugar Ray
in the building.
and native Californian. He's going to tell us a little bit about his journey as an entrepreneur, and I'm excited to actually give you this story. It's going to be an amazing podcast. So, I'll without further ado,
Let's
get
welcome
Ray Tabani.
What's up, my boy?
What's up, baby? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too,
What's
man.
up, baby?
Hey.
We were chopping it up a little earlier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, had some technical difficulties, but we back.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
As always.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ray, you've been quite busy, young soul, but like you're working like you're 50 years old. Like you've been through a whole lot. I understand that you were former boxer, barber. Like now you own a car business and you're into real estate. Like how you even get into all that? So like let's start from the beginning.
Don't forget the music. That's the
biggest
part.
and the music.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Let's just skip to the best part right now. What's your latest hit in the on the streets right now?
We just dropped a song today. It's called Traction. The last song we dropped broke like 100,000 views in like a few days. Like shit was going crazy.
Wow.
So we just dropped a new song today, Traction. We're about to start put the marketing on it. On Tuesday I got a call with our guy, and then yeah, man.
Let's get a snippet, bro. Like a quick one, like a 15-second one.
Like live?
Live, man.
Yeah,
Shit. You got it.
Gary. How long it's gonna take for me to see a little progress? I've been on the same road, running out of options. Feel like when I take a step forward, gotta take another 10 steps back. I hate the way it feels. Feel like I'm spinning my wheels. They told me I'm just gaining traction, even when I feel like nothing's happening. Lately I've been out of touch with me and everything I stand for. Thought that I could bear the weight, but shit get hard to handle. Seem like every other night I'm praying for a change. How I'm supposed to keep it going when it feel the same? Searching for a little guidance, and honestly feel like I'm running out of time. It's got me thinking twice about this way of life. I'm searching for a sign. Tell me why I keep on praying on a change.
It's a hit. God
That's
damn.
good. That's good.
Appreciate it.
Love it.
Yeah.
You gotta be ready, bro. We always put you on the spot, you know.
I know, it's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
No, so I love it.
These events and stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been listening to your Instagram videos, right? So we're actually going to have your Instagram in the show notes. But if, for those people who are listening to the audio version, what is your Instagram handle?
It's Hits by Sugar.
Oh, okay, you got to talk sweet to the microphone, right?
You follow me at Hits by Sugar on the ground. And then I got another page called It Will Surely Come. That's like a motivational page. I'm not sure if I showed it to you guys.
Oh,
I've seen it like a little bit on your Instagram,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Good stuff. So your Hits by Sugar page on your Instagram. I mean, I'm hearing the voice. It's awesome. And it's like, man, does he sound like that in person? And you guys just got a first glimpse at that. Yeah,
That's
no,
right.
his voice is actually amazing. So,
Yes,
no,
sir.
that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how long you been doing the music career for?
Shit, I've been doing music for about 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah, officially. I've been doing it all my life, but about 8 years.
Yeah.
I've been like doing it seriously. I was a songwriter for some time. I had some songs with some big artists. Never ended up coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't like songwriting, so I said I'm gonna just start doing my own, my own music, my own. You know what I mean? Like songwriting for other people.
Yeah.
I'm stubborn. I have a problem with people trying to tell me how to make my own stuff be. You know, just that's how the entrepreneurs are. Like,
Yeah.
you stubborn.
And that's what it is. Yeah. So like the music industry is difficult because even though I'm not personally in it, like I hear it's just a lot of push and pull, and you're not even getting a lot of the accolades. Even though you're getting a lot of the fame, you're not getting a lot of what you rightly deserve. Like for example, TLC, right? They had a lot of hits, and a lot of it was taken away just because of like labels taking something, whatever. Like they didn't have rights to their music. For example, who is it? Lauryn Hill, right? So like there's a lot of situations where a lot of people were kind of getting cheated out of what was rightfully theirs. But I understand your grind. Like you definitely want yours. Like you want something of your own.
Yeah, like when it came down to TLC, like they started with Jermaine Dupri, and anything that happened that didn't go your way in the music industry, 8-9 times out of 10 is because you just signed a bad contract. You just didn't have the right proper. But most of these people, they're not business minded. A lot of artists are not business minded, which is normal, because we're so focused on the music, we're not really into the business.
They're hustlers.
They're like, so when you understand the business side, which is why I love real estate so much, because real estate is the foundation of all business. And I'll explain to you why. Real estate is about the deal. It's about equity, cash flow, appreciation, depreciation. It gets you on the taxes. It gets you on partnerships. It gets you on who owns what, how much do they own, how can you increase that value, and how can you make it make money? And then how can you service the debt that you have on that in a way that structures it so everybody wins? Mm-hmm. That's the foundation of all business, especially music. So when I started learning about real estate, it started putting all these things into perspective. Like I already had a business. I had my car business. It started putting things into perspective. And now I'm seeing, okay, if I get approached with a deal, and I started studying deals, and I've always been a student of the music game, and I started to understand, well, if you're going to have somebody invest in your real estate, your music, then you have to structure it in a way that whatever value they're going to add, however it's going to appreciate your asset, which is your music and your brand, it has to be equal on all sides. And a lot of these people didn't understand that. So they did a deal where they get 15% royalties on everything that they own or that they create, mm-hmm. and then they get 85% of their stuff just for giving you, what, $1 million, $2 million? Right. What you going to do with $1 million? That's not that much money.
Yeah, after all that work, yeah, it's almost like a slap in the face.
Well, forget all the ego stuff. Like, what can you do with that? Who cares about the accolades? First and foremost, who cares about the accolades? Who cares about the accomplishments? Who cares about the fame? None of that stuff matters. That is the least important of anything.
It goes away, right? At the end.
No, it doesn't. It's always going to be there, but that's the least important out of everything. What's important is the connection and the influence you can have on other people. And that influence, that is the true leverage. So the music industry in 2022, the whole industry grossed $36 billion. Real estate grossed $560 billion. So the music industry is not a big industry. And
relatively speaking, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, $36 billion. Jeff Bezos is worth a big chunk of that. Yeah. And he's one person.
Yeah, I mean, real estate is what drives the economy, Mm-hmm. Like the recession is kind of like based on what's going on also in the market right now. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people don't know that, but like it's 100% influenced by, what's going on in the real estate market. So a lot of this shit that's going on right now, like, it's like based on like the market and the situation, like at least from my perspective, I don't know if you guys ever thought about that. So it's real estate is probably the biggest thing, like based on the economy right now in America, in my opinion.
I think it's always going to be, I think the biggest thing is definitely healthcare. That's huge because that's the drug game. And the drug game is the biggest of all. But then you got real estate. But I was trying to say, like, music, the power of music is not in the money. It's in the attention. You leverage the attention to win. Real estate's not an attention game. It's like it's a dirt game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The music is an attention game. You can leverage people's attention, and you got investors. And now you got access to how much capital? Pace was just talking today about crowdfunding, about having your own fund.
Who's Pace?
What do you mean who's Pace? Pace Morby. What you talking about?
Yeah, no, tell me about Pace Morby.
What you talking about? You know Pace Morby.
Yeah, for those who don't know who Pace Morby
is.
Oh,
gotcha. I'm over here like... Pace Morby, like, you got the real estate giants, you got Grant Cardone, you got Pace Morby, you got that's the only two I really follow. You got Ryan Pineda, you got these guys. Pace Morby,
Dean Graziosi, and
he's in real estate.
I think
he is a little bit, yeah.
He don't teach it though. I don't think so. I don't know. I anyways, Pace Morby, creative finance, subject to great
creative finance guru.
No, great at building community.
Yeah.
And that's powerful. If somebody learns how to create a community of people that are loyal and that are really invested in what they created, you can do a lot of stuff. When you have influence, you just got to use it the right way. That's why it doesn't matter about accomplishments and accolades and all that, because you have that group, he got 10,000 people in his thing.
Yeah, I think it's up to like 12,000 in his community, sub 2. Yeah, so
Plus the free group, another 100K.
yeah,
That's,
definitely.
That's
yeah.
power right there.
He's got a lot of people that could be his potential business partners. And just like, for example, he came out with a challenge called Project Forward, where a lot of the challenges were to actually create podcasts. And in that challenge, his name is getting spread widely. And if we're going to continue that, it's going to continue moving and moving and moving, touching a lot of people.
And
So
it's good.
yeah,
it's good because he do a lot of good, and he's very inspiring, and he's a sharp cookie.
Yeah,
great storyteller too. You know, he knows how to catch people's attention.
Mm-hmm.
So back into the game. So you started with music, and then before you started into real estate, did you start your car business, or was kind of like was that like half and half? You're kind of into the car business, kind of have your other foot on into real estate.
I just got into real estate like 2 months ago.
Okay, so you're before that, so you're just running your car business.
Yeah.
And music.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a lot of ups and downs, but yeah, I went from the car business. I started with 11 economy cars, and I was running them to Uber drivers, and then it was working. I was doing like 15 grand a month. It was pretty dope. And then I met some other guys, and they had bigger cars, like Ferraris, Lambos, Rolls Royces, stuff like that. And then they had me get my cars up there. So I had Corvette, Porsche, BMW, Bentleys, and stuff like that. And then once I got those, the whole game slowed down. So nobody was really renting cars. People that was getting 20, 25 days out the month rentals, now you're getting 5, 10 days.
What year was this?
This year.
This year.
This is back in February. So the whole game just slowed down. So I was like, I gotta do something else to make some money. Mm-hmm. So they were pushing me to do credit repair. And I already understood the credit game because I did the cars. And I hated it. I did it for like 2-3 months. I hated it. And I was like, what else can I do? So then I saw Pace's video. I had seen him originally before they were selling my apartment building, like last year in like October. And I wanted to buy it. I said, let me try to buy it. Why not? And so I learned about it. That's when I first seen him. And then circle back a year later. Now I'm doing this thing.
It's interesting that your, I guess, peer group was telling you to buy higher end cars, because to my understanding, higher end cars don't get rented out that much. It's normally like the economy cars because everybody wants a sedan. But yeah, tell me what's the reasoning behind the high end cars?
Well, it's all about who you know. And you got people that got big old yachts. Mm-hmm. We probably can't, if we pull our money together, we could probably go get a yacht for a couple of days. But I don't got 10 grand for a yacht for a week. I don't got that much. But there's people that do. Mm-hmm. So there's a market for anything if you just tap into that market. Mm-hmm. So the higher end cars is just a different market. It's a different group of people. I had my clientele based off of, people that needed cars for Uber. People that didn't have a lot of money. They had enough to sign up with me. Mm-hmm. But then you got to think about it. When it comes to business, when you got lower paying clients, you have more headaches. Because you got people that, the client that pays you $100 is going to be more picky, and they're going to be more, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Oh, you did this one, versus the client that pay you $1,000, they're like, here, take it, you're good.
Interesting.
I had to repossess cars from pimps. I had people that's trying to rip my trackers out. I had people that wasn't paying. I had to kill switch the cars, repossess them. I had a lot of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have any problems of people, because we're in San Diego right now, do you have any problems of people trying to take it over the border?
People was taking my economy cars over the border all the time, because a lot of them was coming over the border to do Uber and then parking it at the border and leaving. And then sometimes they would just take it with them. So I'd kill switch the car. I'm like, you can't do that.
Interesting.
And they would do it anyways. But I can't really do much about it. Mm-hmm. They paid me, so I was like, okay, I'll let it happen. I mean, worst come to worst, if they steal the car and they cut communication, I got insurance. So
yeah. Wow. Yeah. That seems like a risky business, but it seems like
the way I was running it was a little risky.
Yeah, it's tough because it's a liability at the end of the day. You're making money and all of that, but it's not like a home, right?
It's a that's what I hated the most, because when it came time to exit, I didn't have enough equity in the cars. I was underwater on everything. I had to come out like, I can't even count how much it was, but it was way over 30,000. I had to figure out how to get the money to get rid of these cars. Mm-hmm. I put no money down buying these cars. We don't ever put money down buying cars, but they went from right here, boom, right there. I was like, oh, welcome to the game, baby.
So you're still in it though.
Yeah, I'm still in it.
But you're trying to shift gears to get more influence through real estate.
Yeah, real estate, and then just recently, like I met with a guy who's a big real estate guy in Canada who's also in music, and I had reached out to him on Instagram. I had heard about a story. I saw a video on YouTube, and he's over 8 figures in real estate. He had gone bankrupt a long time ago for like $2 million, and then he built everything right back up. So I was like, okay, well, anyone that has had it and then lost it and made it back is someone you should listen to. You know, hear their story. So I reached out to bro, and he saw my music, and he was in the music game. So he was like, well, let's start pushing your music out more. Let's be a little more strategic with what we're doing. So we came up with the little plan, and I've just kind of been working it the past few weeks. So I've been posting a lot more on social media. And then as I'm doing that, I'm just building my relationships in the real estate to where, you know, start leveraging, you know, people that have deals or have money for deals. I just got to either find a deal that fits for it or, you know, put 2 and 2 together.
Was that Drake's cousin or something? The guy from Canada?
Man, I wish. That would be cool.
So since you started in real estate, what was your like very first deals? I don't know if you closed any deals, but like what were you like kind of like looking for as far as like, okay, like this is how I'm gonna start? Because we all know, you know, it's like it's a huge game. It takes a lot of effort and, you know, work. But like when you started, like what kind of route were you like, okay, I'm gonna go for the multifamily stuff or single family, I'm gonna build like this kind of portfolio? Like how did it go, like that beginning of like first couple of months, you know?
So I wanted to get some cash, so I was like, okay, let me do the wholesaling. So I did what everybody did. I did the sellers, call the sellers, skip chase some sellers, call them, and I didn't like being on the phone for 20 minutes. And then I went, okay, let me call the agents. So I started calling the agents. And then I went through the ringer on that.
And then you're like, fuck that, man.
Agents are worse than the sellers.
Yeah, but it was better because I was getting conversations. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, now I have somewhere to grow. So started doing that, and then I just started trying different lists, different states, just like whatever. And then now recently, and I was doing like between 50 and like, okay, let me say between 30 and 50, 60 calls a day. I was just sitting there calling and stuff. And then I started to get the hang of it. You know, I had a couple contracts sent to me, but they were horrible deals. I didn't know how to structure a deal. I wasn't confident enough. And I'm still learning.
You're doing like a solo game at a time. Like,
yeah, I'm not the type, I can't really join a team. I'm too much of an entrepreneur. Like, if I'm confined to one job or like, it's just, it doesn't work.
It goes back to your music too, bro. You know, like you're entrepreneur, like spirit, and you're creative too. Like we're all like using our creativity in some way. So you want people telling you like, oh, I want you to say this, but you want to be like, this is the best. You know, the best line of the music. I ain't gonna change that for you, right?
Yeah.
And then real estate's the same shit. Like I work with a team right now, but I'm like in the process of building my own like boat. You know, but like working for other people, you're just like, man, this is not it, right? But you gotta start somehow, but I totally get it. You know, like you're just in a different level because you're already doing business. Like you have your own like music stuff going on. You have your car business going on. A little different from what I got, you know, at the moment. But you know, I feel you, bro. It's like working from somebody else. It's like you gotta do what they ask you, you know. And
your soul is never at rest when you're working with somebody else.
Never. It's you know what, bro? That's so true. That's so true. But what I realized is, when you're not aligned with your gift and your purpose in life, you're never going to be good, ever. You're always going to be frustrated with whatever you're doing. And that always comes with being the best version of you, which is always outside of everything. It's about who you are and then whatever you're doing outside of it. When you figure out who you want to be, whatever you're going to do you're going to make it fit that mold because you're only going to do what you want to do. You know what I mean? So working for somebody, no. Working with somebody, I'd love to. And I do. We all work together. But Luke has been closing deals. I haven't closed nothing, so I can't really give advice. I can't really give advice on how to close a deal, but I'm a good talker, so I'm good on the phone.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, I've seen you doing calls. For me, bro, the thing for me, it's like right now, like I'm just trying to leverage up, you know, other people's shit, like so leveraging like their systems, their leads, and like I'm just having fun, you know, like I'm calling, making mistakes, like, oh, you know, didn't work, but you know, it's not my league. When it's like your own stuff, you're like, oh damn, like I fucked
You
up. Like this cost me so much money, right? So right now I'm like leveraging all of that, and I'm also learning from their mistakes too, you know, like what's working, what's not working with, you know, within the group, and like how can I do better when I have my own team, so people don't do the same shit, you know. So it's a lot of learning, but it's way less stress as far as you know, like that weight in your back, like, oh fuck, like I'm paying for these leads, I'm paying for the systems, like if I don't do it, like like we're losing money right here, you know. So
but
it's
if you stick with it long enough, it'll pay off, and it's way more rewarding. But you gotta stick with it.
You gotta stick with it, and you gotta be consistent with it, right? Because it's like some people think, oh yeah, I've been in this game for 2 years and I haven't closed a deal, what's going on? It's like, yeah, well, if you're calling once a week or maybe twice a week, but that's like on a Tuesday and a Sunday or something like that, and you're wondering why you're not getting results, well, it's because 1, you're not talking to enough people. 2, you're inconsistent with it. 3, your follow-up game is probably trash. 4, because you're not consistent, you're probably like your skill set is atrophying because you're not constantly in the game. So, like, the answer is right there. Why am I not getting it? Because you're not consistent. But yeah, you gotta stay in the game. You gotta be consistent with it, and eventually, it's a numbers game. You will find somebody that's gonna fall in your lap. You're gonna be scared the first time. You're gonna be like, "Oh snap! Is this really happening? Is this really happening?" Every single step of the way. I mean, we've all gone through this, right? You get kind of like your song Traction, right? It's like 1 step forward, 10 steps back. Like you get forward a little bit. Hey, somebody said yes. Awesome. This is like a hit of dopamine. Let me go forward with it. Oh, I changed my mind. Okay, well, we're going back again. Let me start again. And then, oh, snap. They say yes. All right, let me send a letter of intent, LOI. Get it? All right, I have questions. I don't know how to overcome these objections. Going back again. All right, lost that lead. Possibly, maybe follow up and like educate them a little bit more. Go back into it. All right, they said yes. They love the LOI. Let's send a contract. All right, everything's good. Let me put this in the escrow. We locked it up. We got our first contract. And then can't find a buyer. Going back again. Cancel the contract. And then you keep chasing it all the time, over and over and over again. But at some point, because you're doing what you needed to do and you never gave up hope, at some point you're going to close, finally, like you're going to close on escrow and you're going to have a bank or a wired check in your bank account. And it's going to be like the greatest feeling ever because you did that. Nobody else did that for you.
The thing is, it's important to state here because you haven't closed the deal yet, but you're working on some big shit, my guy.
Yeah, I know. Like to go for the big stuff.
Yeah. Well, so what you got going on? Like, I know you got a couple of multifamily stuff going on. Like, just tell us a little bit about how you got that deal. Like a little bit of like the beginning of all of that.
So what I'm working on right now is 2.6 million. It's a 6-unit by the beach over in San Diego, and this seller on this deal, he's notorious. I didn't even tell you guys this. He's notorious in Ocean Beach. This guy, 6 out of every 7 people pay this guy rent. So he owns a lot of that, and he's a slumlord. So he don't really take care of his properties, and there's a lot of controversy around him. So I thought that was so interesting when I found it out, right? So anyway, I think I was told that he's selling these properties because he's going to buy a bigger deal, but I think he's got some lawsuits going on right now from the tenants.
Show.
So he's trying to get rid of them. But so it's a seller finance deal. It's a mixed use and 6 units with the potential for 7 to 8 because it's got 2 garages that you could probably convert. And then so it's 25% down. He originally offered us 15, but it didn't really cash flow with that. So we will ask for upgrades so we can get better terms. So I structured it 25% down. 5% interest only for 5 years with a 5-year balloon. And then I asked for a 10-month deferment on the payments so we could come in and do some renovations, kick everything up. Because right now at those numbers, it's break even with as is. And you don't want to break even, especially in California. Because you don't know what the heck could go wrong.
So for the knuckleheads out there, like deferred payments, like what exactly does that mean in like clear English? So you're not paying the seller for like a couple of months?
Yeah, okay. So deferment. So a deferment is, it's like I'm giving you 25, I'm giving you 600 something thousand. Give me 10 months to come in and renovate the property, and then I'll start paying you. Because once I have everything all built up and fixed up, I want to pay you. I want to make sure I pay you. I want my name to be good out here. So let me fix everything up so desire and I have people in there, then I'll pay you. And then, if I'm giving you a bigger down payment than what you originally asked, just give me some better terms. So Mark Chang, he said, if I'm gonna give you something, I gotta get something in return.
And how much is the balloon that you're gonna have to give him?
It's gonna be 1.9 million.
How are you thinking about coming with that money?
So we already got 25% equity in the deal, and then from my numbers that I ran after we renovate everything, it should be worth about $3 million. So equity is gonna be about $400,000 off the bat, and then I ran appreciation off of it. Property appreciates on average 3% per year. Now, multifamily is a little different than single family because multifamily is based off of how much money it makes. Multifamily is like buying a business because you're literally buying a business. So it depends on how much the rents go up and all that stuff, and then what other multifamilies are selling, and you could compare it by the doors. So I estimated just off of the 3%, it would be 3.5. So we were gonna raise $600,000, so $650 for the down payment, plus another $200 in repairs. And then plus whatever the closing costs, so it would be between $800,000 and $900,000. And then off of that return, after all is said and done, after the interest-only payments, after the deferment, reserves, and then the appreciation, it would be around a $500,000 return on that. So that's like 40-50%.
And where are you at right now with that deal? Because I know we kind of discussed a little bit. I was trying to hook him up, with like some big guy that has a couple of properties in town. It's like, not for me. And I'm like, shit, man, I want that property too. I want to be a partner, but goddamn.
Buyers are slim picking at that price.
People are scared to touch California.
Yeah.
And I understand why. Because the numbers are so slim. To make these deals work, you come in with 50% down, 40% down. I see Grant Cardone talking about you got to come with 30 to 50% down, which makes sense. Because your cash-on-cash return, which is how much money you get from whatever you put down, that's your cash-on-cash return versus your cap rate. So you guys know what the cap rate is. That's if I bought the property cash, that's my return. That's my cash-on-cash return, but I have to buy it outright. Versus a regular cash-on-cash return is just what you put down and what you get back from that, right? So to make it make sense in California, forget about the laws and stuff and all that. You come in with 30, 40, 50% down. Now you can probably cash flow on it, but you also got to remember, what if you have vacancy? This is it's only 6 units. What if I get one person gone, 2 people leave? That's what? 4 out of 6? That's less than 80%. Bro, you're not gonna cash flow with 80% occupancy. Versus if you go with like Grant Cardone. I love Grant Cardone. I always been following him, bro. But he makes a lot of sense. You go with a 30 unit, a 40 unit, a 16 unit, you have more room for error because now you have more margin. And then 1, 2 people leave, 1, 2 people start paying rent, and you gotta evict them. If you're in California, it's gonna take you some time.
Yeah, at least 6 months.
Yeah, but if you're out of state, you might be able to get it done fast. You know, maybe come in and I don't know, maybe for some reason it's all of a sudden it's a bunch of cockroaches in there, like a bunch of spiders around.
Especially at the beach too. Like all that like breeze and that breeze.
So it seems like a lot of real estate investors avoid like the blue states. So California being one of the biggest ones, New York is another one too. A lot of the politics that are involved because the landlord-tenant laws are pretty awful because they side with the tenant very heavily. So it's easy to lose your assets, and not necessarily like the house, but just the investment that you put in there. It's easy to lose it because of eviction. It's easy to lose it because of everything that is done to side with the tenant, for sure.
It's I think like the biggest problem that a lot of investors look, especially here, first tenant loss. They suck and they keep coming with like I saw a video the other day. This guy was just telling about like the new ones. They're like, I'm not sure, it could be saying something wrong here, but like you had to kind of pay like a month or 2 for the tenant.
Yeah, I think that
to leave the home. So like to vacant the home, and then you can evict them, or so like you basically have to pay out of pocket for like the person who might not even be paying rent to leave.
Crazy. I don't know whoever run California. I don't know if they've ever ran business. Before.
Yeah.
But so like, are you familiar with the Bay Area at all? Like with the market there, and
no,
so basically, I have a close friend lives there. Again, that's what I heard. I'm not 100%, but basically they don't have space to build more houses like to the side, right? So you either go up or you go like freaking far away, right? Because there's no space, and so they don't really have like resources to really like find a solution for the house problem, and then they go after the investors and people, and then which is, it's like same with Airbnb stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have 14 doors back home in Brazil, and I'm like free and clear to run Airbnb with no problem, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I run like 14 units, all Airbnb. Like I used to make like, I don't know, like maybe like 14, 15 per door. Now I'm making like 15, 20 per door.
Mm-hmm.
So like here, now you gotta get a license. And then I was talking to one of my boys here from the office. He was saying that they want to have a report in San Diego from a quarterly report from their income from the rentals.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to share how much you're making with the fucking state or county or whoever is in charge of that.
I'm pretty sure a lot of the money that was coming into California was from vacations. So now that Airbnb took a big chunk of that, they get to keep their money.
No, definitely, and I understand, but at the same time, bro, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Like you can't just like, oh, you're not gonna be able to invest here because we don't
You
know
gotta adjust
how to run the country or the state.
I say like, is it worth the risk? If it's worth the risk, take the risk. But you gotta see what your risk management is.
I think another problem that I heard the other day too is like the cash flow in California. It's a little like tight.
The prices is high.
Yeah, but the thing is, like you're in for the appreciation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you wanna buy on a red state, you might have a higher cash flow, but a lower appreciation over time, right? In California, that's not the case. You have a lower cash flow, and if you're get a good deal, like I feel like yours is a pretty good deal. By the beach, rent is on the highs right now. Like over time, yeah, you're just gonna appreciate, but also your rent is gonna go up. Like that is prime location, bro. Like 4 blocks from the beach. Whew, sign me in, bro.
Like less than 5 minutes from the beach.
Yeah.
But it makes sense too. That's why it's like, how much can you really leverage? But if you go out of state, if you go to a growing market, a place where a lot of people are coming into, that's gonna appreciate too. You go somewhere like where all these companies are moving out of California, moving out of state. You go where they.
But did you know they're coming back now?
Are they?
Yeah, some are coming back. I don't know if it was Tesla or something. Like they're kind of like finding a way to kind of have them back here.
So I know a lot of, because I have properties out here as well. Well, like the insurance companies, that's like the biggest thing. Insurance companies are moving out of California. So a lot of investors are saying, well, and that's why like a lot of the mortgage payments are actually increasing, just because now the insurance companies that are staying are jacking up their prices. Kind of like how Uber did with the taxi market, right? So like you take away all of your competition with your low rates, and then once all the competition's gone, you have free reign to do whatever you want. So now the insurance companies that are staying here are jacking up their prices.
It went up 300%, bro.
Yeah, which is crazy.
300%. And I heard some people like you in the business the car business. Like I have friends who are in the insurance business. They're not like issuing more like new insurances. People are buying cars and they're like, oh fuck, I can't get insurance because like it's just out of control. It's California, but
it's California. Like you were saying, I don't know if the people who run California, if they've ever had a business before, but it seems like it is their mission to shoot every single business owner's foot and be like, nah, we don't want you here. It's like it is counterproductive too, because without the business, you're not going to have the people supporting the people who don't want to run a business.
But that's how politics go. That's why I keep my ass out of politics.
Oh yeah,
bro. We're focused in business here, like, and I feel like most of these big heads like Pace, Grant Cardone, and other people, we look up to.
They don't touch California.
Yeah.
No, but not even like you're not worried about politics, bro. We're all focused about business here and make money, and
you gotta understand what's going on now.
Oh yeah, for sure, for your investments. Yeah,
ain't got nothing to do with me. I didn't say this. I didn't say that. Ain't got nothing to do with
I'm
me.
not running for mayor, governor, like, city council.
Maybe soon, sugar for mayor.
Hey, look, I would be a great leader if I decided to do that.
So, as far as like you got this deal, going. Are you gonna go for like the big stuff, like down the road, like eventually?
I don't want to touch the little stuff.
Like, what's your goal? Like, what's your end goal as far as like?
And so, real estate wise, by the time I'm 25, I want to own at least $100 million in real estate.
Bro, that's the part that like he was telling me you're 23, and I look at this guy, I'm like. Yeah. I thought you were like 30 or something, like
30.
Like I don't know, but it's the beard, yeah.
If I shave the beard,
bro,
I'm 16 probably.
Everyone, this guy's 23. He already got a car business that he was making like what 20 G's at least. Yeah, and now it's a little different because you have a whole new car system going on. Yeah. But like and you got into real estate, and you're just getting started, bro. You already got like a freaking multi-family.
But it's all a game. You learn how to play the game, bro. When you shoot some dice, like that's all it is. if you learn how to play the game, now you just need the relationships to fund your game.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
But yeah, no, but I'm saying this, bro, because like I dig that. Like I freaking admire you even more now. You know, like you're young, like you're doing your thing. Like, bro, I wish I had this, mindset back then. You know, like and like just didn't have, So now like we got to catch up a little bit.
You're on path to take over the world. Because I mean, like well spoken, well dressed. You've already had a lot of different entrepreneurial paths, right? So like you've had your boxing, you've had barber, which definitely want to talk on, but like your car business, your music business, and your real estate. It's like you've gone through like trials and tribulations through every single one of those, and none of them have broken you. And you keep persevering, and your goals are way higher than obviously where we were at 23, right? Like, let alone the fact that you've already accomplished so much up until this point, and we know that you're going to go even further. So, like, we know that whatever you plan on doing, there's nothing that's going to stop you. And as long as you continue, like, building that influence, like, you're going to inspire a lot of people to actually follow in those footsteps. So, I mean, we're both rooting for you to succeed because you have to. Like, there's a lot of people that are looking up to you saying, I have no way out. I have no way to do this. Like, maybe if they're, like, ethnic or something like that, oh, I have basketball, I have football, or I have whatever it is that the stereotype is to get ahead. But they have no idea, like, what they really can do as long as they know the game. And I really hope that you actually spread your influence and tell people, like, this is how you play the game, so that you could actually win. Because something, I forget where I got this kind of adage from, but a lot of people play at this base level. There's a ton of competition here. But as soon as you figure out like how to actually make money or how to actually go above what the baseline is, like it's almost like free. It's almost kind of like breaking from the clouds, and you realize like, oh my gosh, there's this sky here when everything else was overcast the entire time. Like, I don't have that much competition anymore. Everybody's a big hitter. Everybody's a huge player over here. And now all I have to do is just network with the other birds in the sky that are running or flying around above the clouds. And that's what your path is. And it's like, as soon as you click that, like as soon as you get that, you're going to freaking take off. You're just going to own the world. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. Take off. So like, yeah, I'm rooting for you. Like, I can't wait to see your journey. I mean, you're posting every day about like what you're doing. So it's going to be awesome just to see like from the beginning to there's no end for you, because you're just going to keep pushing. You're just going to keep, you're going to reach your goal, and you're going to find a new goal. You're going to find another goal, and it's going to be awesome watching that.
Quick question, man. Kind of back to the music, but do you get any projects with like some like any cool artists, well known out there, or like anything cooking up, or like who do you look up to, like?
So what you say, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. I do want to say this though. When it's all said and done, you're not going to judge me by my accomplishments. You're going to judge me by how many people's lives and the way they thought was changed by what I did. That's what matters. And that's Pace's legacy is not going to be by all the houses he owns. It's going to be by all the people whose way of thinking he changed. The best gift you can give somebody is not a property. It's not a necklace. It's not a painting.
It's what you leave behind.
No. It's the way you think.
True.
That's the best gift you can ever give somebody, is teaching them how to think. Because they can take all that other shit away from you. They can clothes off your back. They can lock you in a cell. They can take everything. They can burn you alive, and you can still barely be breathing. But they can't take this. Nipsey Hussle said, "You can kill me, but you can't mute my spirit." Can never take that. So that's the best gift you can ever give. And then as far as the music goes, when I was songwriting, I don't like to tell this because it sounds like I'm lying, but I was working with this. Well, actually, what's crazy is, so I was working with this producer named Jay Oliver, and he had gotten up with Troy Taylor. I don't know if you know who Troy Taylor is, but he wrote a bunch of hits in the '90s. He did "Sweet Lady" by Tyrese. He's a super big producer. He did all of Trey Songz music. So he came up with Troy Taylor, and I had songs with both of those guys. But Jay Oliver was close with Justin Bieber's camp, so he knew his DJ and all the people. So I was sending this dude back in 2021. I had met him from studio session I had gone to. And then I was sending him 5-6 songs a day. I'm recording right now a day for months. That's a lot, bro. That is a lot. So he was sending to Justin Bieber camp, Tory Lanez people, Sway Lee, any and everybody in the industry had gotten my song. So Justin Bieber took one of the songs I got, and then he wrote a little bit on it, and then they sent it to this girl named Justine Skye, who's a super big pop artist as well. And then she put it on her deluxe album. And then the week of, he sent me a screenshot. It said, sorry, bro, we're not dropping the deluxe album. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, there we go.
Dang.
Yeah. And then there's an artist from Canada named Pressa. I have a song with him where I just got the hook on it, and he did like a verse or two on it. And then I think Tory Lanez and Sway Lee had some songs with some of the stuff that we did. But I never heard anything back, so it could all be a lie, but I was told.
They just stole your music.
Yeah, but it never came out, so not necessarily stolen. Yeah.
Dang.
But even if it did, like,
yeah,
it's not a big deal. Like, I've already proven myself as a writer to myself. That's all that matters, and by the people that listen to my shit.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, who do you look up to, bro? Like, I feel like I have like a little The Weeknd vibes from you with a little bit of like Juice WRLD, a little bit of
so
like.
Interesting. People tell me all this stuff. I don't listen to none of these artists.
Really? Like, I don't know. It's just I get a vibe as far as like the you know, your voice, your like intonation. It's like it's fucking like it's dope. Like
I said, August Alsina. That was my jam.
Yeah.
But now it's all messed up because of the whole Jada.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I
disregard what I said, bro. I'm fucking Brazilian. I don't know any about, you know, American stuff.
I lived in Europe for 1.5 years when I was a kid. I knew it was a lot of Brazilians at that school, so I know how like around the world, like you guys listen to such different music. Like I know you listen to probably a lot of '90s hip hop. Huh?
Yeah. Right. These days it's just I fuck with a lot of like NBA, YoungBoy, you know, that kind of stuff. But it's just.
I think the people that will probably like my music the most are people that listen to like Rod Wave and like Tucson.
Oh, I fuck with him.
Yeah, because my stuff is like emotional.
Yeah, I guess that was a better comparison.
Yeah.
I guess.
But I don't look up to musicians. I don't really. It's hard to say look up to somebody like, because I see everybody as we're all equals.
Yeah.
You know, I can learn from you, and I know you can learn from me because we're both flawed human beings. But look up to, I don't really look up to people like that no more. Look up to God, you know.
So yeah, no, it's funny because I mean, a lot of musicians they start off with a lot of idols, and I think J. Cole said it is like never let your idols be your rivals, and he actually sang a song about that. He was like he met Nas, I think, and I think that's what the song was. It was like I let Nas down. And that's what the song was, and it was
that's an old song.
Yeah. But it's funny because like it still resonates. Just like the story that he depicts in his music, he was just talking about like how he looked up to Nas and he finally met Nas and he was like, "Hey, listen to what I got," and Nas was like, "That shit is trash."
Damn, son.
It's like, could you imagine like having like somebody that you looked up to say like what you were doing, what you're aspiring to do all this time?
That's why I stopped songwriting.
Oh, really?
Because every day I would get trash. This is good. Trash.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated that because your validation starts to become from what other people think.
Which is interesting that you say that because you didn't like songwriting because you didn't like people saying that what you were doing is worthy enough to promote publicly. Yet you got into real estate, talking to agents who constantly say no to you and say, I don't want to do deals or business with you. Mm-hmm. So, like, how do you actually bridge that gap? Like,
I don't want to do business with you if you don't want to do business with me.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't the only agent in the city.
But you kept going, though.
Yeah, I kept going because I understood it's just a numbers game.
Mm.
And I know that if, like, people are going to be people. They got a lot going on. It's a hard job being a realtor.
Yeah.
You around all this money and you only getting a little bitty piece of it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a hard, and you got to do a lot of work for a little bit, and it's a hustle. So I get where they're coming from. I don't take it personally.
Okay.
You don't even know me. How you going? You don't know me well enough to really say anything to hurt my feelings. So.
But music is like completely different when it comes to that.
Music, when I learned that I'm the only one that can validate myself, it changed my whole perspective on life. So I took that into real estate. I took that into business. Like, if you don't like me, cool. Have a nice day. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
Your guys' opinion, anybody else's opinion, that's none of my business. I don't make music for nobody but myself. And that's why it resonates with so many people. Because it's authentic. You know, if I try to make stuff to please you guys, if I try to make a deal, so like that's another thing with like the deal. Like, if I try to make a deal, anytime I ever tried to make a deal for what a buyer said they wanted, it never got any further in that conversation. But anytime I took my own initiative and I worked with the agent and I really understood, I forget what the buyer said. They didn't know what the heck was going on. Oh, you shouldn't be paying more than 5%. Well, bro, it's not going to cash flow at anything more than 5%. And they only given you this amount because you agreed to their price. And they're like, I never agreed to their price. Okay, but then Pace says, we don't mind overpaying for a property. And then, you know, he's like, I don't want to go over 10%. Sometimes I'll go 20%. It's all these different things that you hear every day. And you just got to realize, like, these people, some of them don't even know what they're talking about. Like me, I never did a deal. So technically, I don't have any credibility to speak on this. But I've been in business for a little bit. So maybe I do, maybe I don't. But I guess the only credibility I have is that I just keep pushing, you know? But it's like, you listen to everybody's opinion, you're going to be swayed every which way. You're just going to be a leaf in the wind versus being the tree in the wind. The tree stays still. It might move a little bit, but it's not going from place to place to place, getting stepped on, crunched up. You know what I mean?
Not yet, bro. Credibility is coming. We're about to partner up on a 380 investment, 380 unit, 380 door investment very soon.
No, it's too small, bro.
Yeah, shit.
A couple of those.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe like 10 of them. For 33,000, yeah, that's about good. We can make 1,000 doors, you know?
I mean, that's where Pace is at. I think it's like 28.
It don't take that long. Once you learn the game, it really don't take that long. Now you can just stack it up. That's why I go for the big stuff.
And you don't have to use your own money either.
So. Exactly. You just need a relationship. But you need that credibility and leverage. Because if people, they're not just going to give you $1 million just because you got a deal. Like, they got to trust you. Yeah. And that's a problem I run into with that Ocean Beach field. Is that, like, these guys don't know me. So it just makes it, and I'm in California. And it just stacks up like red flag, red flag, red flag. Yeah. You know, and I'm a beginner. You know, so, but I move fast.
So, but what you, we forgot to kind of say that to the camera. What you looking for right now, as far as for that deal? You got everything you need, or are you looking for anything?
To be honest, I think I'm kind of over it. I'm ready for the next step because now I'm feeling like I don't even want to buy in California no more. It's like it's a big risk. Now. I'm like, I'll live there, but I'll just invest everywhere else. Mm-hmm. I'll assign it, but we've sent this thing out to 50, 60 people.
And no one was like...
If it's not a screamer, like, I've learned, like, oh, I'll call you back. You ain't calling me back. Yep. Don't lie to me.
Did you tell anyone that? You ain't calling me back?
I probably did.
I'll call you. You ain't. Click.
Yeah. But it's all good with the game. Look, I don't have nothing to lose. Like, I'm young. I've already lost it all, like, twice in my life. So... losing it again, it's just going to make me stronger, and I'm just going to be that much more forward in whatever I choose to do next. It just builds me more character. Because, like, getting in the rooms, you guys know it's so easy. It's so easy to get around these.
You just got to be yourself. Like, people think you got to, like, oh, like, I got to be this or I got to have that. Like, just be yourself and just go walk around, bro. Like,
it's easy to get, but even you could just pay to get in the room, right? You just pay to go to these events, get, like, a VIP pass, right? Or like invite, you can meet these guys easy, but after you meet them, how do you win them over? And then how do you really impress them to where they want to do business with you, even if you never did a deal?
Yeah, because they got a lot of people in their ear. So how you gonna stand out?
It's about who you are, man. And it's about how many losses have you taken in life? What's your resolve? How far are you willing to take it? Are you willing to die behind the stuff that you say you're gonna do? Mm-hmm. Are you a man of your word? That's all the stuff that matters. Like. You can know nothing about real estate, but I like to say a sharp cookie, and then you understand at least just business principles. You get into these rooms, these people like you, they want to do business with you.
I feel like the problem with most people, they walk into these rooms and they're like, kind of like licking their balls and like, oh my God, you've done this, you've done that. But like, they hear that from like 200 people.
Everybody else, yeah.
And then, humble yourself and like, dude, really admire like your path and like everything you accomplished. Like, what is something you're struggling with, till this day, or like you know, your current business, like what do you have? What do you like? What do you need? You know, is there anything I can do for you? Like let me learn from you, or like I don't know, just kind of bring that value and just be humble and like you know, like dude, you know,
be a real person.
Yeah, for real. And people just exactly right. So that's
so
like
one thing I want to add on to that too is like you want to give value, but at the same time, a lot of people may say that, so you got to actually come in with something concrete. Hey, I noticed that you're lacking in this. Hey, I could do that. I could take over your software, your integrations, whatever. I could take over your cold calling. I could take over whatever it is. Like, here's not necessarily like here's my resume, but like keep pushing at it. It's like, yeah, I can give you value, but they're gonna be like, what can you do for me? I already have everything. How can you give value to somebody who, relatively speaking, has everything?
You find out what your gift is, and you give it to the world.
So then that's the thing, right? So it's like a lot of people got to figure that out. It's like, what value can you give? Not just I can give value, but anybody can say that.
How great of you can you be? That's the real question. So
it's like, yeah, come in with something that backs it up and be like, all right, like this is what I'm gonna do for you. Like this is what I can do for you, and that holds a lot more weight. But
yeah, I like that, bro. But I also like I roll by like I just keep giving. You know, like that's I don't like you know like I like do my thing. Like I got the office going on right now. Like I'm just trying to like bring other people together and kind of like collaborate. Like I don't care, bro. Like you don't have to come with money or none of that shit. You know, like you want to shoot an event here. If it's gonna bring you value, it's gonna be dope. Like let's do it. You know, like I'm not like charging anyone. Like I was like, yo, Brendan, let's hop on a partnership. Let's do like a podcast. Let's do an event, meet up, whatever that is. Like I'm not asking him for money. Like let's collaborate.
You give so much. Is how you build a lot of trust and a lot of credibility. Because when you give, people take free stuff all the time. Now, if you give some quality stuff, they're going to see that you're a credible person. And as you build that over time, like what you guys are doing right here, from the ground up, you got a whole space and you're leveraging that. And now the more people that come, they're going to see, oh, man, we're really solid people. Like he's always giving something. But I'm always learning when I'm around him. I'm always elevating when I'm around him. So now, let's say 6 months down the line, you ask for something, drop of a hat, they're gonna go get it for you. And now everybody knows who Lucas is, so you won't have no problem finding some money. You gotta wait it out and just keep finding.
Yeah.
But that's what you're doing.
Facts.
And you already got credibility. You already got a 16 unit over in Brazil.
Yeah, it's like 14.
14 units.
Just
solid. Yeah, it's just my dad, been doing like real estate for a minute, and my family, like, they've been like doing like real business like for a minute too. So it's just like, I look up to like all my family members, and my grandpa used to be like the second biggest importer of wine in Brazil. So he had like real business going on and like solid, and he kind of sold it, like went up and down, bought like a airplane like factory, and a lot of ups and downs, but like always doing stuff. So.
Always betting on himself.
Yeah, but it's funny because like this is your podcast right here, but it's funny like people think like some people back home, they look at me and they're like, oh bro, you're rich as shit, like but I moved to this country with nothing, bro, and like here I am building my own stuff. It took me like a couple of years, and that's why I really fuck with what you do and what you have right now, like at 23, because like it took me a minute to get where I'm at, not because I didn't do the hustle, but because the opportunities like they wasn't like as for like a normal citizen, right? Because like I'm an immigrant, so I have to work with what I have. But I made it, I made it happen, and it is what it is. I learned a lot. I think I became a man like that. So when I see people like young and like you, bro, like doing their thing, I'm like, damn, bro.
Bro, you're like a year or two older than me.
I'm 28, bro. I mean, it's like 5 years, but but like, yeah. But I mean, it's a it's a little different, like, but yeah, man. Like,
I see like this, bro. Like, how people always talk about. And I guess a lot of people disagree with me on this, but people always talk about like this generational wealth. I want to leave all this stuff behind for my kids. But I see it like exactly like what you said. The beauty in life is not in just having it. We all know it comes from getting it, right? But like I said earlier, the best thing you give somebody is teach them how to think. It doesn't matter about you giving all these properties and this portfolio down to your kids. It's really teaching them how to hustle, how to make it out of nothing, how to have that mindset that if you do lose it all, if I give you all this stuff and you lose it all, you have the resolve to be okay with that because it's your own wrongdoing and know how to build it back up. it doesn't matter what you get. The beauty in life doesn't come from the things that you have. It comes from building something from nothing. That whole process. If you don't have nothing to build up from, and really experience all the ups and downs on that journey, then you're not living. You're just kind of going with the flow. You don't have a story to tell. You don't have losses to share and connect with other people on. You know, you didn't bet on yourself. You didn't take enough risk.
Yeah.
You have too much to lose.
Which is funny because, yeah, you're talking about generational wealth. I hear that generational wealth is usually squandered after the second generation.
You heard that quote? Weak men.
I was just about to bring that up.
Go ahead, say it.
Yeah, so hard times create strong people. Strong people create easy times. Easy times create weak people. Weak people create hard times. And that cycle continues.
Yeah. So it don't matter. Like, when you're gone, you know, well, I don't know. I'm not going to say, because I don't know what happened when you're gone. You know, we all have our own thing. But it don't matter what happened. What matters is how is those people after you going to live their life. Mm-hmm. And are they going to be fulfilled?
Yeah.
You can have everything in the world, or you could be homeless. But it depends on this.
And that's what I said. I was like, it's what you leave behind, you know. But like adding to what you said, like, you know, like I feel like for me that's the biggest thing, you know, like how people are gonna remember me, and like the legacy you leave behind. Like, oh damn, like this guy went through all this, you know, but like he made it happen, you know. He gave so much, you know, like he made like let's say 3 millionaires. Like, bro, if I can make like 5 people millionaire. Damn, like I think I'm already fulfilled, you know. Like,
yeah, right.
Think about how many lives they're gonna change after, like how many families. Yeah. And I think that's kind of like a little bit of what Pace has in his mind, you know, like how many employees he has, just the community itself. How many millionaires and billionaires are gonna come out of that community? How many families, like, so that's for me like the legacy and what you live behind. It's like one of the biggest things too, you know, like how people are gonna remember you. Because even though after a few years, they're gonna forget about you, right? Like, who remembers like Michael Jackson, for example? Like nobody, bro. No, not trying to talk shit, you know, but like people don't like how many artists like just were
okay,
killed.
Like Elvis, Michael Jackson's still kind of relevant, but Elvis,
no, they're always relevant. But I'm saying like people don't talk, you know, still like about them, you know.
Like yeah, like the younger generation, they don't really talk about Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
well, I guess we still don't. Yeah, I don't know, Michael Jackson.
I mean, he's
no. I love that. I'm not trying to talk shit.
I know shit. I love Michael Jackson.
It's probably the most controversial thing you've said.
Yeah,
but I know what you mean. I know your point. What you're saying though.
Yeah, he recorded fucking in Brazil, bro. The fucking nicest clip ever in Brazil. With the Olodum, like boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So yeah, I think like, half Brazilian, man. Come
100 years later.
Get about it.
Yeah, I think 100 years from now, we will all probably be forgotten.
Well, what does it matter? We ain't gonna be here. Mm-hmm. Unless we are gonna be here. But if we're not, I'm assuming it doesn't matter.
My real estate we're gonna be here about. Yeah. All my property is gonna be here.
We're doing those skyscrapers. Every city.
And we're on to the next life, whatever that has in store for us.
All right.
Chapter, whatever it is.
So, do you got a clip coming up or something? Like, did it release already? The last
the music video?
Like music video.
We dropped it today.
Dropping today?
It dropped.
Oh, it dropped today. Shit, go check it out, guys. We're gonna leave his Instagram on the bottom here. That's a hit.
So by the time you hear it, it's probably been out for
shit. It don't matter. Share.
500,000 views on
it. Yeah.
Like, share it. You know, click the play. All platforms.
All platforms.
Sheesh.
Cool. Good stuff. So, yeah, you mentioned it earlier, so I just want to recap. Like, how can people reach you?
Just go out your window and say, "It's my money and I need it now," and then you'll hear me.
Just poking out the window.
Hey, just think about me and I'll pop up somewhere in your life. That's how it works. If you think about somebody, you'll pop up on their stuff. I'll pop up on your Instagram or whatever.
Dang, so you run those like Google ads or something like that. So you got like
I do. No, follow me on Instagram at Hits by Sugar, and ask about me.
You got a YouTube channel? Mm-hmm. What's that YouTube? It's still Hits by Sugar.
Yeah.
So on all platforms,
go check all his music, download it,
check me out, man.
Send to the family, send to the grandmas. You know, you know what it is.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right, shout out Michael Jackson.
Yeah, shit. That was
You're not
bad,
dead to us.
Man. Shit.
All right. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
All right, cool. Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Okay, that was good.